Most of the times when men are talking or commenting on something, they're like, deny, never accept that you've been caught in the act.
Well,
do you think men have a problem with just being honest?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if you are accustomed to watching men growing up and you're like, everywhere you look, men are not very honest people, and anytime you lie, you get away with it, it just becomes something you pick up even when there's no reason to lie. The way a child would pick up a behavior, so there's that side.
So are you saying that men have grown up around people who lie more than girls and
No,
women?
not really. Just watching other men do it.
Is it a man thing?
To say a man thing to me almost means that it's biologically a man.
Not biologically, it can be like socially, it can be culturally. Is admitting that you're wrong same week?
Is this like from personal experience?
Yeah, it is from personal experience and all.
Speak for all the men in the world.
But for real, like everywhere I am, whether I'm watching like a documentary or whatever, like looks like the social rule is deny.
Have you ever caught a guy cheating on you and he denied, or what?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Even when like evidence is right here, they either deny or they don't admit it, but they make it about you.
It's funny because when I'm reading social commentaries on social media, a lot of guys have very similar sentiment that women are not accountable. I see that. I mean, anybody who's been on Twitter sees that, haven't you?
No, I'm talking about the situation where you're
on
caught.
The spot.
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah. Because you're accustomed to lying.
Yeah.
You don't like being busted out. That's
yeah.
given.
Yeah.
Right? Because it will mean that you are not the person who you purported to be. And I suggest that maybe it's connected to something around masculinity, in the sense that there's a value of weakness it comes with, a value of incompetence. And in a patriarchal world, an incompetent man is not a full man. So you're afraid of that. But then it also means you lose control. Yeah, it means you lose control. The control you've imagined to be having against this other person, in which many times it's against a woman.
Yeah. That brings me to cheating. What do you think is the definition of cheating in today's world? In a relationship, romantic relationship between two people.
You like this today's world thing. For me, it's relative. But maybe if I think of it from a personal point of view,
yeah.
If I'm doing something that is secret from my partner with other people, in the way that betrays the connection or goes outside the parameters of our agreements as a relationship, for me that is cheating. But again, it's very relative. There are people who say, oh, for me, finding, and many times it's women who say this, because I don't hear it from men. Men's cheating is not relative.
Well, what is men's cheating? What do men consider like hardcore cheating?
So for most of us, there's no difference between hardcore and that other thing that you're saying. Like, as long as you have found you flirting with someone, we are very fragile, I'll be honest.
What about if I find you flirting with someone? That is the other thing about accountability.
So a guy would just say, oh, it's just flirting, even though he definitely had thoughts of banging that person.
Yeah.
Or maybe even in some instances, it's already happened. But then if he finds you doing the same thing, the world
he'll be more
over.
offended. You have betrayed him more. You've broken trust.
You're a liar, you're a cheat, you're all those things.
So you're everything.
We are fragile. Masculinity is fragile. We don't like admitting it. But I used to wonder when I was even just like in my mid-20s, like,
why? In your prime.
How? No, I've always been in my prime. I keep telling you this. But even me, I'd ask myself, how is it that when we cheat on women, there are many cases or instances where they forgive us. But then the vice versa isn't true.
Yeah.
When the woman cheats on us, it hits us so hard that even we end up being violent towards her.
Yeah.
Or like, this is the end of you in my head. Like, it's over. I used to ask myself that question a lot. I mean, I have a few answers here and there. I think we are not very grown up emotionally as we think we have as dudes.
And most men think they're emotionally mature when they actually are not, and they're not really even willing to hear that.
And it's a very hard thing to hear, to be honest, and unless you're a person who's really willing to work on himself. If you're willing to work on yourself, you have to be willing to hear things that are not very good about yourself. And many of us aren't like that. Many of us purport that because I'm a man, I am right. But that's the story that masculinity sells to you as a young boy. You see it in the adult men around you. They have this front where things are very, very, very bad, but they're pretending like they have things together. They're on top of things. They know they're the leaders, but they don't know what to do. I remember there was a time a partner and I went to the Masai Mara, and so there are many hotels there. So, and then there are these game drives. So kuna jioni na kuna asubuhi.
Very early in the morning.
So we were gonna take one of those evening ones, and the driver, he tells us of a story of a time when there's a couple that went to the Mara. They were self-driving, and in those game drives, if you have a car, sometimes they can allow you to go out by yourself if you feel confident enough to go and then come
unaccompanied
back. And I mean, it's often recommended that you take the drivers with you, because many times they know the routes there.
And they know like what to do when like something happens.
Animals are and everything. But this time, so this couple decide, okay, we want to take ourselves out, we'll go by ourselves. So they get into their game, and jioni ikaingia, usiku ikafika, alafu sasa ni time ya kurudi, and the nigga is lost. He doesn't know his way back. And so the story goes, the wife remembered the route, but then this guy kept saying si uko. Wakapotea. They slept out uko inje kwa game.
Because the man was adamant. He was right.
He knew what he was doing, and yet he didn't. You're in the Mara at night. Anything
can happen.
So I reckon that, in a normal world, in a normal world, I would say, there's something going on there. And I don't know if that marriage survived. But then knowing how also women are, she probably forgave the guys. Like, okay, you.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't let you forget.
We have a lot of that as guys, and it's not a pretty thing.
Yeah, it's not. There's this thing about men choosing the victim card when it's convenient to them. Let's say in a situation where a woman is earning more than the man, then probably someone comes and asks them, what is the problem with the situation in a relationship, and then they're like, because as a man you're supposed to be the head of the family, and because the woman earns more, then it kind of emasculates me. It's emasculating, right? It kind of emasculates me.
So are you particularly asking about a scenario where the woman is earning more? Is that what you're asking?
Not just earning more, like where there's some power imbalance, where the woman is a bit higher. Let's say a man does not want to probably chip in the household responsibilities. Maybe they have a bad spending habit, and when they're asked, they're like, because she's a bit higher than me, I feel like I'm a less of a man, and so for me to feel like I'm more in control, I end up overspending, buying so many things that are not beneficial to the household.
Have you watched Blue Therapy?
Yes, it's Blue Therapy.
This is right from the episode I watched.
That is the exact thing I'm quoting, is that man in Blue Therapy who has unhealthy spending habits. They love buying things they cannot afford, and they're so much in debt, and they expect the woman to probably come in and chip in, continue like holding the household together, but probably even come in to pay his debt. And when he's asked, he's like, that is the only form of control I feel as a man because of the power imbalance. What did you think about that?
Man, these things are not easy from what I'm seeing.
No, but I'm just saying that I feel like in that moment he conveniently pulled the victim card.
It wasn't convenient, that I can tell you. It wasn't convenient. It was his lived reality from the socialization, from the conditioning, and that's where his head is at. He thinks he has to be earning more money than his wife. that's a lot of men's lived reality. That's how they look at the world. It's in your nervous system, and that's why the reaction is very instant and it's emotional. You don't know any other life.
Okay.
That's the problem we have. That's the problem we have.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's a problem. We don't have the skills to maneuver a life that is otherwise. And because you are accustomed to be the one at the top, the one in control, you feel small. And because you feel small, you develop other habits that are manipulative to sort of also feel like you're also a powerful person. So again, because we do not have those checks and balances in patriarchal relationships and the patriarchal culture, you end up even developing other behaviors that really are not healthy for the connection or and even for yourself, right? So even in the other episodes that I watched, the men are really victims of that culture.
Well, victim or no, victim or not, but
I'm not saying it's right,
but they didn't seem to like even move past the victimhood.
Yes, and that's the problem, because we do not see any other life outside it. We do not see a possibility of life outside this current situation, because the life you are sold in your boyhood as what's supposed to happen is not happening, and you can see many other men also like enjoying what you wanted to have. You see?
Okay.
So we have not developed emotion. That's the problem. We are sort of, many of us are still very childish in the way we handle these things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys, they're adults from the outside. Like you see, they're grown up, they are well groomed in some instances and all that. They have good English, they have some kind of an education as well. But then when it comes to the relationship between them and their spouses and the economics of finances and the politics of power there, they fall back to what they thought life is supposed to be.
Okay.
So lacking the courage and the skills and the emotional maturity to face what's going on now is where the work is at, and many of us don't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to bend life back to.
Yeah, and we want everyone else around us to adjust to that.
Yes.
Talking to men, what do you think men and boys need to know alongside this line of conversation?
That life is not black and white, and it's not what you are told it's supposed to be. And the world is also really, really changing. The women we are dating are not who our mothers were, our grandmothers were. The world has really changed, and it's going to continue to change if we are not malleable. And if I really, really look at it, there's often this fear that, if she earns more money than me at Anidarao, she'll start mistreating me. Yes, there are women who do that because, women are not clean people, all of them. But then, at least in my experience, majority of them really are very supportive. Even in that instance you watched in Blue Therapy, like the mama was really down to, I'll support us as long as this is happening. Like, I'm not looking at you and thinking, you earn less than me, you're not bringing enough home and blah, blah, blah. And even in many of our homes, our mothers are really, really pulling the weight. They're the ones paying school fees, they're the ones paying rent, they are still doing domestic chores and all that. It's already happening. This is not even a Western world issue.
I think one of the things to understand is that it is not always about finances. Every person has their own strengths. You can contribute different things to make like a partnership, a relationship, a household work. So if you're not advantaged financially and your partner is, and if that partner is a woman, then obviously you can chip in a different way. You can probably provide, moral security, social security. You can help around the house. You don't have to always have more money. It is not always about money. Well, I know money rules a lot of things, but when it comes to power is more than just money. And I think most men just focus a lot on that.
If you asked me, I would say that all of us really need to be educated around power. Just power in the beginning. What does power mean? And how do we interact with it as individuals? And how does power look like in systems? Right? A relationship is a system. It exists within other systems. Many of us don't have these conversations in our relationships about how we maneuver through power. If I'm the one earning more money right now, can we have a discussion about how we are going around this situation?
Yes.
And vice versa, right? You know, sometimes because I earn more money, there's sometimes I could be doing something very subconsciously and you think I'm spiting you.
Yeah,
Because
but
of-
I'm not like doing
yeah,
it intentionally.
It's not intentional. And this happens all the time.
And because of poor communication or limited communication, that more
Plus the
things that
stories we
just they
both have in
pile
our
up and
heads.
pile up.
They keep piling up, and yet it's just an empty space of insecurity. Like you know what I mean? So I mean, communication, and that's the part that we really are lagging behind as people generally. And even romance-wise, we are really, really down bad.
Yeah.
But it's again because of something I've said before. Many of these things start from the home. How we are negotiating love.
Yes.
How we are negotiating love is almost equal to how we negotiate power.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because love comes out in many different ways.
Yeah.
Whether it's love for yourself, love for the other person, love for your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Watu wameoga.